Wow, that's a good question.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
That's the first time anybody's asked me that.
You nailed it.
It's Hollywood One-on-One.
I call you Scott. Scott. From like the tissue.
Look at this large, beautiful man.
Come on, the Mummy. Universal is going to reinvent this character.
But I have the ability to get in a room and communicate with people and translate that somehow to the screen, I think.
They're much better at Shakespeare than we are. And that we just do Shakespeare in a kind of sing-songy voice and think that's good.
What are you asking me that question for?
Ow! Ow! You can't make me answer that.
All right, and welcome to Hollywood One-on-One. I'm Scott Patrick. The summer movie season gets started a little early this year, and Mummy's the early word. Universal Pictures is giving new life to one of its most successful franchises with The Mummy, based on the 1932 classic starring Boris Karloff. Now, over the years, there have been more than 40 Mummy movies, from 1912's The Mummy and the Cowpuncher to 1962's I Was a Teenage Mummy. In the latest, George of the Jungle's Brendan Fraser decides to make a run for the desert. He stars in The Mummy with Rachel Weisz, Arnold Vosloo, John Hannah, and some killer special effects. For our first take, we take you to the Morocco and England sets of The Mummy, and we introduce you to the stars who say they want their mummy one-on-one.
Imate pinsum pike sitsue yatue
No! You must not read from the book!
Meet the daddy of all mummies, a Sandman who doesn't necessarily go by the book.
You have unleashed the creature that we have feared for more than 3,000 years.
This mummy throws away the ace bandages, and for the first time, he shows a little flesh.
We are in serious trouble.
Playing the raiders of this lost tomb, Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz.
This one?
If the occasion calls for it!
Trust me! It calls for it!
Is it correct that you made the call on this, that you were very interested and contacted them?
Come on, the Mummy. Universal is going to reinvent this character. You bet I was interested. I never, in my wildest imagination, thought that I'd find myself in the middle of the Sahara, doing a remake, a reinvention of The Mummy.
And action!
Bringing The Mummy back to life, director Stephen Sommers, who takes his chance to blow away all the old mummy stereotypes. First things first, this is not your father's mummy.
That's what we always said. That's what we always said. Yeah, this isn't your daddy's mummy. We had to make sure that it was kind of unique and original and blow people's socks off.
Much of The Mummy was filmed on location in Morocco, in the middle of the Sahara Desert, complete with camels, sand dunes, and 130-degree temperatures. Did you have moments when you're in the middle of the desert going, I am in this big Hollywood movie, though, you know, the pinch myself kind of moments? Yeah, and I'm really thirsty, and there's sand in my ears. My gun doesn't work. And I've got 200 guys on horse charging me down if I don't fight them off. It was in the Sahara Desert, not 200 kilometers from where a little film called Lawrence of Arabia was filmed.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Driving home from work one day in one of the Jeeps, the driver pointed to a mountain range and said, you see that over there? Yeah. So if you go over that mountain range, you'll never come back. That was Algiers. We were really deep in the middle of it, so you could literally feel the weight of history behind you.
Ready, and...
The Mummy is a big-budget Hollywood action film. The co-star Rachel Weisz says it was hard to remember that while on the Moroccan set.
It just sort of doesn't really seem to be anything to do with Hollywood when you're in the Northern Sahara. I mean, it's just like, it doesn't seem anything to do with England, or we were eating their food and being driven around by their people, and, it felt like we were in Morocco.
Making sure all the other mummies eat his dust, South African film star Arnold Vosloo. He plays this mummy before and after death, with a little help from the crew at Industrial Light and Magic.
When we animated the mummy, a great deal of the animation comes directly from Arnold Vosloo's performance using motion capture. So we actually put him in the suit and said, replicate the actions that you have been doing in the film, and then we'll map that data onto this incredible creature that we've built.
I was amazed, I mean, because, ILM had explained to me ad nauseum what they were going to do, and they stuck all this stuff on my face and neck and chest and, LEDs flashing and bits and pieces of plastic, and I'm a guy, I don't even own a computer, so to me it was all Greek.
While Brendan Fraser does a lot of his own dirty work, most of the special effects were not added until post-production. In shots like this, the stars acted opposite a blue screen while pretending to be chased by millions of bugs. In charge of creating this Beatlemania, director Stephen Summers.
What were some of the directions you remember yelling at them as the cameras were rolling to get them motivated?
Don't look stupid. It's like, I tease them a lot because you have to have a certain amount of levity to because I think the actors going in are very filled with fear because they don't want to look dumb. And then I'll say, okay, here we go. Now we're going to race the camels. I'll go 1, 2, 3, now!
Our director, Stephen, when he normally bark at us, is just like, run fast, don't die. That was our direction.
Just run fast, don't die.
It's just like being a child, really. Just trying. It's not really that hard, Like to make out.
Oh, pretend it was.
It was really taxing. I mean, as soon as I saw that blue screen, I just thought, I can't go through with this blue screen. It's very easy. It's like being a kid.
This just keeps getting better and better.
The Mummy gets better and better with